प्रचोदयात्। योपां पुष्पं वेद पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् प्रशुमान् भवति। चन्द्रमा वा अपां पुष्पं पुष्पवान् प्रजावान् पशुमान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। अग्निर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो अग्निरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वा अग्निरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। वायुर्वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो वायोरायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै वायोरायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। असौ वै तपन्नकामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो मुष्यतपत आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै अमुष्यतपत आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। चन्द्रमा वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यश्चन्द्रमस आयतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै चन्द्रमस आयतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। नक्षत्राणि वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यो नक्षत्राणामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै नक्षत्राणामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। पर्जन्यो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यः पर्जन्यस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै पर्जन्यस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योपामायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। संवत्सरो वा अपामायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। यः संवत्सरस्यायतनं वेद आयतनवान् भवति। आपो वै संवत्सरस्यायतनम् आयतनवान् भवति। य एवं वेद योऽप्सुनावं प्रतिष्ठितां वेद प्रत्येव तिष्ठति। राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे। समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यम् कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु। कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Om Shri Sai Ram. Our most loving pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Swami, Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Swami time and again emphasized that Mother is our first God, Matru Devo Bhava, and that there is no love greater than that of the Mother. Our Lord's mother, Mother Ishwaramma, looked upon all children as her own with great love and tenderness. She pleaded to Swami, saying, Swami, there is no hospital in our village. When children become sick, mothers are forced to carry them to Bukkapatnam. I cannot see their suffering. My children and others' children are one and the same to me, and requested that a small hospital be constructed in the village. Swami fulfilled her desire, and today it stands as the Sri Satya Sai Super Speciality Hospital. Mother Ishwaramma aspired for the welfare of all children. It was her desire that a school be built within the village. Swami fulfilled her desire, and today the school has grown and transformed into a university. Truly, her Vatsalyam knew no bounds. She believed that sympathizing with others in their suffering and trying to alleviate it is the sign of true devotion. She wanted the village to be provided with drinking water. Swami promised that it would be done, and a big well was dug in the mandir with an entrance at the rear for people to collect water. Later on, Swami went on to provide drinking water from the river Tungabhadra to the entire district of Anantapur. In this way, Swami fulfilled all the three wishes of Mother Ishwaramma. He often quoted that Ishwaramma would always give away whatever she had, that she was an embodiment of sacrifice and an ideal mother. Recounting the day Mother Ishwaramma left her physical body, Swami says, one day after her breakfast, she had a cup of coffee. Suddenly she shouted, Swami, Swami, Swami. And I said, I am coming, I am coming, I am coming. She asked me to come quickly, and I came to her immediately. She caught hold of my hands, placed them on her head, and breathed her last. What a beautiful way to bid adieu to this physical world, with the Lord by your side and the Lord's name on your lips. It is in remembrance of this great mother that the 6th of May every year is celebrated as Ishwaramma Day. Not only was Mother Ishwaramma fully endowed with humanness, her thoughts also were always focused on Swami. Today, on the occasion of Ishwaramma Day, we, the Sai Young Messengers of the Mumbai Metro region of the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization, pay obeisance to this great mother, her Vatsalyam, her Seva, and more importantly, her Bhakti, through an offering titled Bhakti Rasamrutam. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. It is often said that human birth is a precious opportunity to improve oneself to attain liberation. Of the many methods for achieving liberation, the path of bhakti is the simplest and shortest way to experience the divine. So what is this bhakti? Bha stands for Bhagavan, which means in whom all powers are inherent, namely omnipotence, omnipresence and omniscience. And Ti stands for Anurakti, which means intense love. So bhakti means intense love for that all-powerful, all-knowing God. Bhakti comprises of various emotions, feelings, thoughts relating to God. It includes gratitude, reverence, adoration, love, thanksgiving, and even fear of sin. But ultimately, all descriptions fail, for in truth, bhakti can be understood only when it is experienced. The Lord understands a true devotee, and a true devotee understands the Lord. Therefore, bhakti is a yoga where the two merge to become one. In fact, bhakti itself has 9 forms, namely Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sneham, Atmanivedanam. Let us explore the depths of each of these forms of bhakti and try to understand how we can practice them in our daily lives as taught by our dear Swami.
Just as a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, the spiritual journey too commences with the bhakta undertaking the simplest of sadhanas, that is Shravanam, or listening to the glories of the Lord. The great king Parikshit was cursed by sage Shringi to meet death in 7 days. The king requested sage Shuka to redeem his life by converting what was a curse into a blessing. As a result, sage Shuka taught the king continuously day and night for the next 7 days all about the Supreme Lord, his incarnations and glories. And by enjoying the stories about the Lord, King Parikshit was filled with devotion and experienced the Lord within him. Swami says, Parikshit exemplifies how devotion can find the highest expression in merely listening to the glories of the Lord. Truly, blessed was the King Parikshit, and so are we, because our beloved Swami, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, through the medium of the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization and its activities, has given us various means to practice these forms of bhakti in our day-to-day lives. Let us see which is the activity that leads us closer to the practice of Shravana Bhakti.
Om Shri Sai Ram. To appreciate the concept of Samarpan, it is imperative to understand the link between Shravanam and Bhakti. Shravanam means to listen. Take a second and jumble up the alphabets of the word listen. Do you know what word we get? We get silent. It is only when the mind is silent can we really listen. The true understanding of bhakti is when one is totally oblivious of his individuality and all that exists is love towards the Lord. Samarpan acts as the ideal bridge between Shravanam and Bhakti. Samarpan is a program initiated in July 2012 by the alumni of the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Over the years, we have been extremely blessed to hear about Baba through devotees who have had the good fortune of being really close to him and have had many divine experiences. Currently, the program is held on the 2nd and 4th Sunday of every month. Samarpan has opened our eyes to the splendor of our Sai Avatar. Heartwarming stories, astonishing miracles, impossible healings spoken about in these talks truly revs up the bhakti quotient in the audience. Many doubts entertained by the mind get clarified just in the course of these gripping talks. Samarpan helps us connect and develop a strong bond between Swami and us, because it is only through connection that we can experience the divinity within. Om Shri Sai Ram.
So come, let us experience the bliss of Shravana Bhakti through this short video of a Samarpanam session.
When we were in the interview room, my children were getting that first computer. We had told them when we come back to the US, they were young fellows and the computers were new, internet was new at that time. So we said, we will get you a computer. And when Swami said, what are you boys doing? How are you? They said, Swami, we are going to get a new computer. So Swami said, oh, what are you going to do with the computer? So my son said, Swami, we are going to connect to the internet. What is internet? Swami said. So my sons immediately, they said, Swami, if you type www.com, you can connect to websites. Oh, www, what does it mean? So they said, World Wide Web. So Swami very sweetly said to them in Telugu Seva, World Wide Web. This world is a web. And like a spider, you get caught in that web. With all the desires, with all the attachments, with all the external things that you get attached to. It's a worldwide net, worldwide web. And you are the spider all the time waiting. Even if a leaf falls on the web, it gets stuck. So everything you get stuck in this world. But if you convert it to work, worship, and wisdom, www. If you do your work sincerely with devotion and you convert every work that you do into a worship, and that will become jnana or wisdom, then you will be free from this www web.
It's a very beautiful episode where she was saying that Swami was in Vrindavan that time. She was staying with her sister in Bangalore city. And then Swami went away to, I think, Hyderabad or Madras or somewhere. So there was this one Westerner whom Swami had permitted to stay in bungalow when Swami was away. And this Westerner wanted to learn bhajans. And she turned to Ranima, and Ranima said, I'll be very happy to teach you. So even when Swami was not there, this devotee would take a train and a bus and multiple conveyances like that from the city of Bangalore. Those days it was not easy to come all the way to Vrindavan in Whitefield. So she would come all the way only so that she could come and teach this devotee bhajans, right? So she was doing this for a few weeks, and one fine day when she comes, this Westerner devotee, she comes and says, Ranima, today I don't want to learn bhajans because Swami has come back. And today also happens to be my birthday, so I don't want to spend time in the classes. I want to spend time with Swami. So Ranima says, all right, it's okay. But then she says, you have come all the way from Bangalore. You wait here. I will go inside and ask Swami if you can come inside. And I'm sure Swami will have no problem with that. So she goes inside and she asks Swami, Ranima is here. She's been coming all the while when you're away teaching me bhajans. Can I call her inside? And immediately Swami's response is, no, tell her to go back to city. So then she starts pleading, Swami, why are you saying this? She's come all the way. She'll be very happy and delighted if you give her darshan. Swami says, no, tell her to go back. And the few other devotees were there. They also tried to plead with Swami and said, Swami, your devotee, she's not like some a stranger or something. Why don't you allow her inside? And Swami kept saying, no, ask her to go back. So this foreigner comes out and she looks at Ranima and says, I tried so hard, but Swami is saying that you shouldn't come. So Ranima says, all right. She gets into the train and she says all through that journey back to the city, she was in tears. She says, Swami, why is it you doing this to me? Swami, you don't love me. Swami, why why is your heart dried up like this? What will you lose if you give me one darshan as though I'm asking for your property? All these kind of thoughts. And she was, there was nobody around. So she was sobbing and she was crying and she was very upset with the whole thing. After some time, after she had cried her heart out, and suddenly this thought comes to her, why should I cry? Swami knows what is best. Swami knows what is right. I probably cannot understand that. Swami knows what is right. Why should I feel upset about that? And when this thought comes, she calms down and then she's fine after that. So Swami narrated this entire episode of how she came teaching and how Swami treated her. After narrating all of this, Swami said, so the first thought that you had was, Swami doesn't love you and you're upset with Swami. The second thought that you had was, Swami knows what is best. Swami told her that first thought should not have come at all. Your first thought should have been, so what? Swami knows what is right. I will accept whatever Swami gives. Swami said that should have been your first thought. And when that becomes your first thought in any situation, then you become an ideal devotee.
नाहं व्यसामि वैकुंठे न योगी हृदयरवो मद्भक्ता यत्र गायन्ति तत्र तिष्ठामि नारदा. Neither do I reside in Vaikuntham nor in the hearts of the yogi. O Narada, I dwell where my devotees sing my glory. Thus proclaim to the Lord. This brings us to the next step of our journey, Kirtana, singing aloud the Lord's name in all glory. In this form of devotion, the Bhakta pours out his heart in jubilation, extolling the Lord, and shares his joy with everyone. There are innumerable saints in each state of India who are ideal examples of this bhakti. To name a few, Tukaram, Kabir, Jayadeva, Andal. Come, let us experience this joy by listening to Sant Namdev and Mirabai's compositions.
अधीरचिली पंढरी मग वैकुंठ नगरी जिभानवते चराचर जिभानवते चराचर तेव्हा होती पंढरपूर तेव्हा होती पंढरपूर जेव्हा नवत्या गोदा गंगा जेव्हा नवत्या गोदा गंगा तेव्हा होती चंद्रभागा चंद्रभागेचे तटी रचिली पंढरी रचिली पंढरी रचिली पंढरी गोमटी रचिली पंढरी गोमटी आधी रचिली पंढरी मग वैकुंठ नगरी नासिलिया भूमंडळ नासिलिया भूमंडळ पुरे पंढरी मंडळ पुरे पंढरी मंडळ असे सुदर्शनावरी रचिली पंढरी रचिली पंढरी रचिली पंढरी गोमटी आधी रचिली पंढरी मग वैकुंठ नगरी ही हो रचिली पंढरी मग वैकुंठ मग वैकुंठ मग वैकुंठ नगरी
led us on the path of Kirtanam by giving us his first bhajan, Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam, and urged all devotees to practice group singing as a form of sadhana. Let us understand this a little more.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Kirtanam is one of the 9 forms of devotion and perhaps the simplest form of devotion. Bhagwan says Bha, Ra, Ta, that is Bhava, Raga and Tala are the 3 most important components of Kirtanam. Bhagwan once said, in order to drive away all the birds sitting on the tree, one claps aloud. Similarly, in order to remove all the negative thoughts from one's mind, one needs to sing the name of Bhagwan and clap loudly. Sai bhajans are the simplest form of singing. These require no music knowledge and no memory of lyrics. These are simple namavalis set to simple tune and simple tal so as to ensure that all the bhaktas are able to follow the bhajans easily. And it all began in the year 1940 when our beloved Bhagwan himself composed the first bhajan, that is Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. Sai bhajan collections are perhaps the largest collections of bhajans ever. Samitis have designated centers where bhajans are conducted weekly. Apart from this, We have our youth bhajans which are conducted once a month. There are centers which are pre-designated as public bhajan centers where devotees from within or outside the organization can attend the bhajans. During the pandemic, physical bhajans have been replaced with online bhajans, and with the same fervor and enthusiasm, bhajans have been happening for the last 1 year. We invoke Bhagwan's blessings to continue the bhajans with the same fervor and enthusiasm that has been happening for the last 1 year. Jai Sai Ram.
यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण जन्म संसारबन्धनात् विमुच्यते नमस्तस्मै विष्णवे प्रभविष्णवे. It is said that smaranam or constant remembrance of the Lord and His glories is capable of relieving one from the bondages of birth and death. Swami says, Prahlada is the supreme example of the devotee who always centered his thoughts on Vishnu, regardless of whether he was subjected to pain or pleasure. Let's see the story of the great Bhakta Prahlada and his staunch adherence to Vishnu Nama Smarana through a puppet show.
Hiranyakashipu desired immortality. To attain this, he left his kingdom and began performing arduous penance on Mount Mandara. Hiranyakashipu had 3 sons, and one of the unborn child, Prahlada, absorbed Narada's teachings and began to repeat Om Namo Narayanaya even before he was born. Meanwhile, pleased with his penance, Lord Brahma appeared before Hiranyakashipu, permitting the latter to ask for boons.
O Lord, I do not want to die, so grant me a boon that no man or animal will cause my death. Death shall not come to me inside the house nor outside, not during the day nor night, not on the earth nor in the sky.
Smilingly, Brahma granted the request. He believed that he had tricked Brahma. He began considering himself God and forced everyone to adore him by chanting Hiranyakashipave Namaha. Prahlada was taught teachings opposed to Lord Narayana. Prahlad's heart was full of contemplation on Narayana.
Son, summarize the essence of all scriptures in one sentence.
Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayana.
School is not doing any good to you. I shall teach you. Son, no Narayana or any other imaginary being has my powers. The 5 elements are under my control, as are the orbits of the sun and the moon. I am the undisputed master.
He who illumines everything, he who finally absorbs everything within himself, is the one, Narayana. Having him always in mind and experiencing the bliss thereof awards fulfillment to all. Father, you conquered the entire world, but you failed to conquer your senses. First of all, reduce your ego and cultivate your love for God. Then your kingdom will grow and you will prosper.
The Lord's name was imprinted in Prahlada's heart at a tender age. It was impossible to erase it. Hiranyakashipu decided to kill his own son. He summoned his men and had them stab Prahlada with their swords. But Prahlada was unshaken by this torture. Hiranyakashipu noticed that Prahlada was still alive.
You say Narayana, Narayana all the time. Where is this Narayana?
Do not fall into doubt that he is here but not there. Wherever you look, you will find him.
Is God really present everywhere? Is he present in this pillar?
Yes, Father.
But I cannot see your Narayana. I am going to destroy this pillar.
Hiranyakashipu took a heavy mace and smashed the pillar with force. The pillar broke into 2 pieces. Out emerged a most terrifying form, Narasimha Avatar. It was neither human nor animal. The head was a lion's, but the body was of a human. Narasimha pulled Hiranyakashipu by his hand and laid him across his thighs and ended the demon.
Child, doesn't my form frighten you?
Lord Narayana, yat bhavam tat bhavati. As is one's thought, so is your form. All these years, I have been constantly chanting your divine name and pining to see you. To me, you are the very form of love and bliss. I believe in your celestial form of love and not this physical form. So I have no fear, my Lord.
Prahlada taught that wherever you are, in whatever circumstances you are placed in, contemplate on God. That is, Sarvada Sarvakaleshu Sarvatra Harichintanam. God's Smaranam will always keep you stable and safe.
Speaking of Namasmarana, Swami says, purify the heart by Namasmarana. The name must flow like an uninterrupted stream. Let's see how Swami has paved the way for Smarana Bhakti in our lives by molding it around our day-to-day activities.
Smaranam is the constant contemplation of the Lord. Faith comes only by remembering God's name constantly, sincerely and continuously, just as the act of breathing. To put Swami's teachings into practices, the Bal Vikas activity in our Sai organization teaches the children to chant shlokas and remember God all through the day. Starting the day with chanting the morning prayer, Suprabhatam, Nagar Sankirtan or Veda chanting. Chanting the Gayatri mantra while having bath. Praying at the altar before setting out for work and praying 3 times in a day before each meal. Doing bhajans at home along with the family members, meditating and chanting the night prayer before going to sleep are such simple practices to remember God. Swami has thus given us very simple ways to remember Him throughout the day while carrying out our daily chores. And these practices could be followed by all age group, which inculcates the habit of constantly remembering our beloved God all the times and engrave His divine name in our hearts. Sai Ram.
Once, Sant Eknath undertook a pilgrimage to carry the water of the river Ganges from Prayag in North India to pour on the Shivalingam in Rameshwaram in the south. As he and his fellow pilgrims neared the temple, they found a donkey fallen on the road, dying of thirst. His fellow pilgrims wanted to rush to the temple, having reached the last leg of their pilgrimage. But Sant Eknath poured the entire Ganges water in the mouth of the donkey than on the lingam. This made the other pilgrims furious and considered it an insult to the Lord, since the water meant for offering God had been wasted on a donkey. Sant Eknath then calmly responded, "O wise men, you have read again and again in the holy books that God is everywhere. Then why are you so upset? The water that this dying donkey drank has reached straight to Lord Shiva." Seeing the Lord in everyone and serving those in need is true Pada Sevana, the next step in our journey. The Sevadals of the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization are ideal examples of Pada Seva Bhakti, trained by none other than the Lord himself. Swami would say, and I quote, "You are not a Sevadal only when you wear a scarf. Remember, you are a Sevadal always, and every opportunity to serve that presents before you, you must utilize it." Unquote. Let's hear about the wonderful effects of practicing Pada Sevanam as Sevadals.
Om Sri Sai Ram. My loving pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. In the Navavida Bhakti, Pada Sevanam is a beautiful stage of devotion. But does it mean Seva at the feet of God? Our Swami has always been telling us that Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. So, true Seva would be service not only to mankind but to all living creatures in the world. The Satya Sai organization has been giving us ample opportunities of doing Seva, and Prashanti Seva is one of the most important parts of this Seva. Doing service in the hallowed precincts of Prashanti Nilayam is a beautiful opportunity given to us by our merciful Swami himself. Otherwise, if we were to think properly, the Lord who runs the whole universe single-handedly, would he need our help to run his ashram? Yes, he said many times that it is the merit of our previous births that gives us the opportunity to step into his divine abode and fructify the 8 days that we are allowed to go there and do seva. It is when we go there that we lose our ego totally, when we see how such a huge setup runs smoothly and lovingly day after day, year after year. And there are some beautiful experiences of the Sevadals who have gone there to do seva. 3 years ago, when the seva of Maharashtra state was going on in the month of March, suddenly in Maharashtra there were hailstorms in many districts. In one such village, there was a big chance of a hailstorm coming, and one of the Sevadals who was doing seva in Prashanti Nilayam got frantic calls from his villagers saying that he should come back immediately and try to protect his fields from the oncoming hailstorms. But this Sevadal refused. He said that since he has gone to Puttaparthi to do seva, he has surrendered totally, and he was confident that nothing would happen. And believe it or not, when he went back to his village, he was pleasantly surprised to see that though all the surrounding fields in his village had been affected by the hailstorm, only his field was well protected. Yes, Swami really takes care. And there is one more story of one Mahila Sevadal from Pune. She finished her Prashanti Seva and was going back to Pune by train. As Pune was just approaching, she began to feel very sick. She realized something very bad is happening to her. But she was alone and there was no one whom she could call for help. As she was just collapsing, her phone rang and she managed to pick up the phone and answer. It was one of her Sai friends calling to tell her about some work that had to be done. And our Sevadal was able to somehow tell her friend that something was happening to her and she needed help. Her friend immediately rang up her family members and told them about it. As the train entered Pune, her family was ready in the station and our Sevadal, who had suffered from a brain stroke, was immediately picked up and hospitalized. And yes, she is back, she is healthy and she is back in Seva. There are not one or two, there are many such stories which show us how Swami is always taking care of all us Sevadals. So, looking at this permanent situation, at this pandemic situation, we are all now praying to him to let us get out of it and give us opportunities again to keep doing more and more Seva. Sai Ram. Thanks.
Swami's emphasis on Seva as a sadhana is to remove our ego. That is, to put apart the I, to reach Puttaparthi. One such inspiring incident in Parthi is of a Sevadal who without flinching did the unthinkable act of jumping into a sewage pit to clear it of its blockage with his bare hands, thus bringing great relief to all the devotees. The Sevadals of the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization approach service to society as a God-given opportunity to kindle in themselves that selflessness and also transform into activities that will uplift the downtrodden. Let's take a look at this video, which is an ode to all the Sevadals of the Sai organization.
Prema Swarupulara. Start the day with the love. Fill the day with the love. Spend the day with the love. End the day with the love. This is the way to God. Prema Swarupulara.
কাজ দেখে তো খুবই ভালো লেগেছে এবং আমি পুটাপার্থী ওখানে গিয়েছি, ওখানেও কাজ দেখেছি। তো সব ধর্মেই আছে যে সেবা পরম ধর্ম, কিন্তু ধর্মে আছে, ওটা থিওরিতে আছে, প্র্যাকটিক্যালে নেই। প্র্যাকটিক্যালি এটা আপনাদের মধ্যে দেখতে পাচ্ছি, যেটা এটা তো আমার মনে হচ্ছে ওয়ার্ল্ডে আপনারা প্রথম আছেন যে প্র্যাকটিক্যালে যে কাজটা করছেন, যে অন্যান্য ধর্মের লোক বা অন্যান্য সমস্ত জাতির লোক এইরকম কাজকে দেখলে তারাও মানে আবেগে আরও জড়িয়ে যাবে, তারাও এই কাজে হয়তো আস্তে আস্তে আপনাদের দেখে হয়তো নিয়ে যেতে হবে, যেটা মানুষের আসল কর্তব্য, যে খেদমতে খোদা মেলে এবাদতে জান্নাত যে কথাটা আছে, তো সেটা তো আমাদের মধ্যে কমই দেখা যায়। সেটা আপনাদের মধ্যেই দেখতে পাচ্ছি, এর জন্য আমি অনেক খুশি, অনেক আপনাদের ধন্যবাদ।
The next form of bhakti in this journey of Bhakti Rasamritam is Vandanam. Swami says, Akrura is an illustrious example of a devotee who sanctified his life by constantly prostrating before the Lord. Story goes that on the pretext of performing a yajna, Kamsa invited Krishna and Balarama to Mathura so that he could kill them. He handpicked Akrura to bring them. Accordingly, Krishna and Balarama left for Mathura in a chariot driven by Akrura. As they reached the banks of the river Yamuna, Akrura asked Krishna and Balarama to wait in the chariot and himself went to the river to perform Sandhya Vandanam. While praying, Akrura dipped his head into the waters. And what did he see? He perceived the forms of Krishna and Balarama as Narayana and Adishesha. He was confused. He lifted his head out of the waters only to see Krishna and Balarama seated on the chariot unperturbed. Akrura then told himself, "What a fool I am! How can I limit the Lord? Is he not everywhere?" Swami says, this is the grace earned by Akrura. Until the devotee reaches a lofty state, he cannot appreciate God's omnipresence. Let us listen to how our Swami has given us an opportunity to realize his omnipresence through the medical seva activity of the Sri Satya Sai Seva organization.
Offering my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Vandanam Bhakti. Vandanam Bhakti is supreme prayer or reverence to the Lord. In this form of devotion, a devotee begins to see his favorite form of the Lord in all beings and objects. Swami, through his medical institutions and medical seva projects, has blessed us with a divine opportunity of practicing and realizing this Vandanam Bhakti. How? Patients in pain and distress are treated equally in our institutions without any discrimination or differentiation of caste, sect, creed, religion, rich or poor. Everyone is lovingly embraced with a smile. Right from the doctors to the nurses to the sevadals who offer their services with utmost care and love purely on a voluntary basis. The only exchange that happens between the patients, their family and the Sai medical fraternity is pure love.
It is indeed this love towards all that actually reaches the divine, as He is the one who is being served when we tend to the ones He has manifested in. Sai Ram.
Swami says, Vandanam does not mean merely folding the palms together and offering salutations. It means offering to the Lord all that the Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas do in a spirit of total surrender. Let us experience this intent of Vandanam through a short video on the medical seva.
आमचा गाव हा आदिवासींचा आहे. आमचा गाव गरीब परिस्थितीचा असल्यामुळे गावाची आमची त्यांनी पाहणी केली. तर त्या संस्थेच्या मुख्य संस्था चालक आहेत. ते एक असा विचार केला की हा गाव अतिशय दुर्गम भागाचा आहे. ह्या गावाचा काहीतरी आपल्याला विकास करता येईल तर आपण करूया. तो बिल इथं म्हणजे अजिबात द्यावा लागत नाही. आम्हाला चांगल्या प्रकारच्या भारी गोळ्या रोगावरच्या आम्हाला इथं मोफत दिल्या जातात. तर ते जे आम्हाला म्हणजे आमच्या कुटुंबाला किंवा कुठल्याही आमच्या शेतकऱ्यांना जी खर्चाची बाब आहे ती त्याच्यामध्ये आम्हाला बचत झालेली आहे. म्हणजे जे लांब जावं लागत होतं दवाखान्यात वगैरे ते आम्हाला आता लांब जावं लागत नाही. आम्हाला गावातच सुविधा झालेली आहे. हे फार बरं झालेलं आहे आमच्यासाठी.
म्हणजे काय आता तुमची गाडी यायला लागली तर आम्हाला आता गाय गरीबांना आम्हाला गोळे वगैरे देतो त्यात फरक पडतो. दवा बिवा सगळं आमच्या लोकांना कोणचं गुडघे दुखतं पाय दुखतात काय पोट दुखतं ते बसलं आमच्या लोकांचं. म्हणून आमचे लोक तुमची वाट बघतात काही केव्हा येतात माणसं आमच्याकडे असं.
The divine healer had come to heal mankind with the twin panaceas of love and compassion. He took his resolve further by instructing the Sai organization. If the poorest of the poor cannot come to you, you take the best healthcare out to them. Thus, the doors of divine love flowed into the remotest corners of Maharashtra.
पहले 8 दिन का दवाई देते हैं, 8 दिन में बहुत फर्क पड़ जाता है. एक बार दवाई खाते हैं तो 4 दिन तक देखना नहीं पड़ता.
मैं 3 साल से दवा ली थी और बात है डायबिटीज है, प्रेशर है, सब है मेरे. फर्क पड़ता है भाई, फर्क पड़ता है. मैं मरने से बची हूँ तो इधर ही आने मांगता है ना. उधर तो एक पैसा देने का नहीं बराबर नहीं होता तो कैसा जाऊँ डॉक्टर के पास. 2000 का दवा लिया, मेरे को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ा. इधर तो बराबर फर्क पड़ा है. अभी थोड़ा दुखता है, ये घुनसन दुखता है, बाकी मेरे को सब ठीक हो गया.
ఈ బోటి భక్తుల యొక్క ప్రేమతత్వమే నా యొక్క బలము.
The love of the devotees is my strength, said Bhagavan.
ఆ ప్రేమతత్వం అనేటువంటి దానికి ఎవరు కూడా లొంగలేరు.
And in fact, it is a love that is supreme.
ప్రేమ బలమే సర్వ బలమునకు మూల కారణము.
The power of love is the true power.
ఇటువంటి ప్రేమతత్వాన్ని పెట్టుకున్నప్పుడు ఎవరికి ఏ విధమైనటువంటి బాధ కలిగినా ఏమాత్రం ముప్పు జరగదు.
With this love, nobody will face any threat or danger.
భారతదేశం కేవలం ఒకటి మట్టి గుంట కాదు. ఇది కేవలము ఒక హార్ట్ వంటిది దేశానికంతా.
Bharat is the very heart of the entire world.
భారతదేశం బాగుంటుంటే అన్ని దేశాలు బాగుపడతాయి.
If Bharat is good, the whole world will be good.
ఆ సత్యాన్ని భారతీయులు గుర్తించడం లేదు.
This truth is not realized by inhabitants. The inhabitants are carried away by selfishness.
కనుక మీరు పిల్లలు ఏంటంటారు, మీరు స్వార్థాన్ని మర్చి
youngsters should give up selfishness.
పరోపకార సంబంధమైన కార్యాల్లో పాల్గొనండి.
Participate in service activities.
దానికి కూడా మీరు సిద్ధంగా ఉండాలి.
You should be ready for any task.
దేహం ధరించిన తర్వాత ఎన్నో కష్టాలు కలుగుతుంటాయి.
You are bound to face certain obstacles and problems.
దీనంతా మనం లెక్క చేయకూడదు.
You should not be mindful.
విశ్వాసాన్ని మాత్రం దృఢంగా పెట్టుకోవాలి.
But you should have very strong faith.
ఆ విశ్వాసమే మీ శ్వాసగా భావించాలి.
That Vishwasa faith be your swasa, the breath.
ఈ కష్టంలో భగవంతుడు అందించినటువంటి వరప్రసాదములుగా భావించాలి.
Consider the difficulties as God's gifts.
కనుక స్వామి ఎప్పటికీ ధైర్యంగా ఉంటామని మిమ్మల్ని ఆశిస్తున్నాను.
Bhagavan wants you to be always courageous.
దాన్ని మాత్రం హృదయపూర్వకంగా మీరు చెప్తూ ప్రార్థన చేయండి.
We should pray wholeheartedly.
లోక సమస్త సుఖినో భవంతు, లోక సమస్త సుఖినో భవంతు, అంతే చాలు.
Let's pray that the whole world should be happy. That the whole world should be prosperous.
అన్ని విధాలా మీరు క్షేమంగా అభివృద్ధి అవుతారు.
Then you will also progress.
अर्चनम नवविधा भक्ति का छठा चरण, जिसमें कई अन्य चरणों का समावेश है.
ईश्वरः परमः कृष्णः सच्चिदानन्द विग्रहः गोविन्दः सर्वकारणकारः
नमो नीलकाय दुरावारमाय सुपद्मासहायं भजेऽहं
वेणुं
सदा गोदिवासं जगत्सन्निवासं शतादित्यवासं तदा चक्रशस्त्र लसत्पीतवस्त्रं हसच्चारुवक्त्रं भजेऽहं
प्रणयकेलिकलाविलासं श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियतप्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति.
आखिर वो कौन सी वस्तु है जो अर्चनम में ईश्वर को सबसे ज्यादा प्रिय है? प्राचीन काल के महाराज पृथु ने अंगार्चना की थी, यानी तपस्या करते समय उन्होंने अपने शरीर के अंगों को ही अर्पण कर दिया था. उनके इस भाव ने ये सिद्ध किया कि शरीर में वास करने वाली आत्मा परमात्मा का ही स्वरूप है. हमारे स्वामी हमसे अर्चनम में 8 पुष्प अर्पण करने को कहते हैं. वे 8 पुष्प हैं:
अहिंसा प्रथमं पुष्पं, पुष्पम् इन्द्रियनिग्रहः, सर्वभूतादया पुष्पं, क्षमा पुष्पं विशेषः, शान्ति पुष्पं तपः पुष्पं, ज्ञानं पुष्पं तदैव च, सत्यम् अष्टविधं पुष्पं, विष्णोर्प्रीतिर्करं भवेत्.
अर्चनम यानी तन, मन, धन, वचन और कर्म से सदा सदा के लिए ईश्वर के हो जाना.
Archanam means making an offering. What can we offer the Lord of the universe, who has created the entire creation, including us? Swami says what one offers the Lord is not important. How you offer is more important. The story of Rukmini and Satyabhama brings this out so beautifully. No amount of expensive jewels offered with a sense of ego pleased the Lord, but a small leaf offered with pure love and devotion changed the scale completely. Come, let us see how we as Sai devotees follow Archanam Bhakti.
God is Bhavapriya, not Bhayapriya. More than the material offerings, God is pleased with the intent and feeling with which it is offered. In our Sai organization, we perform Laksharchana by offering rice while collectively chanting 1,000 names of the Lord. After the conclusion, the offered rice is collected together at one place and used for serving food to the poor and needy, which is Narayan Seva. Even when we perform Archanam at our home during daily prayers, the rice used for the same is kept aside and used for the monthly Narayan Seva activities. Many prefer worship to Lakshmi Narayana, but this form of worship to Narayana in all forms is considered as the highest form of sadhana, and it is also dearest to our beloved Bhagwan. Even during this pandemic, due to his grace, we were able to serve and worship these Narayanas by serving 1.5 lakh meals and 20,550 Amrit Kalash kits, which is a monthly package of food grains, rice, oil, salt, spices, etc. Taking part in such seva ensures that we progress in the spiritual journey of being one with the divine.
When the Rakshasas in Lanka asked him who he was, Hanuman firmly declared, Dasoham Kosalendrasya. I am a Dasa of Lord Rama. His only thought was to always serve Rama, be near him and wait for his commands. Swami says, Hanuman's devotion to Rama exemplifies Dasya Bhakti, that is, service as a form of devotion. Let's behold the greatness of Hanuman's Dasya Bhakti through a dramatization of beautiful incidences from his life.
Om Anjaneyaya Vidmahe Vayuputraya Dhimahi Tanno Hanumat Prachodayat.
I pray to Lord Hanuman, son of Anjana Devi. May he inspire our mind and illuminate our understanding. Lord Hanuman has been the epitome of the ideal that Swami has set for all of us for all times to come. The power of your faith in the object is greater than the object of faith itself. That is what Hanuman symbolizes. Hanuman is called so because he is without any anumana or doubt. If you have clarity of your goal and you know for whom you are doing it, how to perform your tasks and how to use your intelligence well, you will be able to reach the goal. So both devotion and intelligence, which Hanuman characterizes, are required as instruments to attain our destination.
Describing the virtues of Hanuman, Swami often says Shantudu, Gunavantudu, Balavantudu, Hanumantudu. The yardstick of how devoted you are to the Lord is how neutral or equanimous you are in the face of victory and defeat, joy and sorrow, that is Shanti. Rama wanted to test Hanuman, or rather give a message to all of us. Sri Rama once said, Nobody has served me like Lakshmana has. If Lakshmana has served so sincerely, the Lord is indicating to me that his brother must be very tired. From today, I must allot some amount of time in the day to serve Lakshmana too.
Such was Hanuman's attitude of seva. Every action of the Lord was his command. Every breath of his was only for Rama. In such Dasya Bhakti, there was never any room for ego.
Swami gives a beautiful story to explain this. When Sita and Rama returned to Ayodhya, people's joy knew no bounds. At the time of his coronation, Rama distributed gifts to all those who had helped him in the war except to Hanuman. Swami, why don't you give any gift to Hanuman? He has been your greatest support in this war.
Oh Sita, don't worry. Hanuman does not care for any gift. In fact, I have no worthy gift that I can give to Hanuman.
Oh, poor Hanuman. He would certainly feel bad. Hanuman, come here and take this. Hanuman, this is a precious pearl necklace given to me by my father. But you are throwing away the pearls without realizing their value. You don't seem to have given up your monkey tricks.
Oh mother, I examined each pearl in order to see whether it had the sacred name of Rama in it. I could not find it in any pearl. Without the name of Rama, they are but stones and pebbles. So I cast them on the ground. Even the hair of mine is filled with the name of Rama.
You are the crest jewel among the monkeys who fulfill Rama's mission. You are the great hero who found the whereabouts of mine and destroyed the city of Lanka. You will always be remembered with Sri Rama. You are the embodiment of devotion and surrender. May Sri Rama always love you.
Oh mother, this was all that I wanted, that I must be worthy of Sri Rama's love. A life without Sri Rama's love is an utter waste. It is nothing but a living death. The only thing I desire is Sri Rama's love.
पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
Great is the ideal that Bhakta Hanuman has laid down for the mankind. But how do we emulate this ideal in this time and age? Let's hear how our Sai Rama has simplified the practice of Dasya Bhakti for us.
A true Dasa or servant is the one who implicitly follows the order of his master. In this context, our master, verily the Lord of the universe, our dearest Swami, has given over 1500 discourses containing pearls of wisdom, and never before has any avatar spoken in this way for the benefit of humankind. Therefore, it is our duty to study these teachings, contemplate on them, and most importantly, put them into practice in our daily lives. Only then can we be truly called a Dasa or the servant of our Lord Sai. Our Lord, in His infinite mercy, made it further easier for us, the members of the Sai organization, by condensing the entire lot of discourses into just the 9-point code of conduct, which are daily meditation and prayer, devotional singing with the family members once a week, participation in Sai spiritual educational activities by the children of the family, participation in community service and other programs of the organization, regular attendance at devotional meetings conducted by the organization, regular study of Sai literature, use of soft loving speech with everyone, not to talk ill of others, especially in their absence, and finally, sealing on desires, which is consciously and continuously striving to eliminate the tendency to waste time, money, food and energy, and utilizing any savings thereby generated for the service of mankind. If we want to practice Dasya Bhakti, then it becomes our bounden duty to implicitly follow his command of practicing these 9-point code of conduct. Sai Ram.
Swami says Sneham means friendship. It is not the type of friendship that you generally cultivate by saying hello. You must keep your heart hollow so that it will be filled by divine thoughts. All human relationships are based on the body, while the relationship with God is from heart to heart. It alone is permanent and unchanging. Arjuna's one decision to choose his dearest Sakha, an unarmed Krishna, instead of his mighty army, despite an impending war, ensured that his every need was taken care of by the Lord. Let's watch a snippet of this episode.
Arjuna, what a fool have you been? Do you realize the mistake you have made? Why did you not choose my army? To fight the Kauravas' might in the war, you need a powerful army. And that is why I ensured that you had the first chance to choose. But you have been so naive to fritter away the golden chance.
Oh Janardana, is victory in a war more important than your company? Even if I have to face the ignominy of defeat, I don't mind it as long as I have you by my side. Besides, how can I ever forsake my dearest friend for anything else in this world?
Get up, Partha. I am indeed touched by your devotion. Now that you have chosen me as your Sakha, I shall surely not let you down. As it is, neither am I going to carry weapons, nor am I going to fight the war. So, let me be your charioteer. I can surely do this much for my Sakha.
But, oh Krishna, you cannot do that. I cannot accept it.
But why? Why not?
Krishna, aren't you aware that I will have to give directions by hitting my nail-pointed shoes to your temples? How can I be so vain to do such terrible things to you?
Oh, that's not fair. On one hand you call me your Sakha, and the other you hesitate to treat me like one? Can't I do even this much for a Sakha like you? In fact, I can do anything for a Sakha like you.
But Keshava?
Partha, no more debates on this. It is final. I am going to be your charioteer. Now go ahead and make the final preparations for the war. You have my blessings.
When God makes you his friend, there is no hierarchy in this friendship. Friends are equal. He makes you his equal. Swami says, earn the right to approach God without fear and the right to ask for your heritage. Whatever role you give to the Lord to play in your relationship, he will play to perfection. But you too must play your part with utmost integrity. We have all been fortunate to enjoy this sacred relationship of friendship with our dear Bhagwan. Let's recount some of these golden moments.
Sai Ram. What a heartwarming scene between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, which beautifully epitomizes Sakhya Bhakti or Sneham, as Swami so rightly refers to it. We Sai devotees too have been so fortunate that our Sai Krishna blessed us with umpteen opportunities to enjoy this beautiful bond of friendship during his earthly sojourn. Firstly, we have to be so grateful to the Lord for having chosen the human form in this avatar, and then having mingled with us like one of our very own. Then we have to also realize that it was He Himself who took every conscious effort to come down to our level and interacted with us in a manner that made us feel so comfortable in His presence. Had He only played God and remained aloof from us, we may have placed Him on a pedestal or kept Him at an altar, which would have only increased the distance between Him and us. However, He wanted to make Himself approachable, accessible, and available to every devotee's sincere prayer. So, we need to realize that instead of Him sitting on a throne as a godly figure and expecting us devotees to only prostrate to Him, He let us sit in our places and He walked amidst us, giving us darshan, sparshan, sambhashan, collected our letters and materialized blessings for all of us. And then there were also group interviews or individual interviews that also happened. Apart from that, so many of us have enjoyed the bliss of traveling with Him in buses, trains, cars, planes, and several other modes of transport. Those wonderful trips to Kodai, Shimla, Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai, Aichi are so studded with innumerable anecdotes of personal interactions. The many Thrive Vrindavan sessions where students, teachers and some senior devotees saw Swami in His personal best are memories to cherish for a lifetime. How can we forget those precious moments when He ate with us, allowed us to serve Him food, happily posed for photographs to our cameras, joked with us, teased us like our own friends would. Why? He even engaged in arm wrestling with some of the senior most students of the earliest batches of the institute. Later on, he even watched movies like Iqbal with students. Many of us may have even seen videos of Swami in which he is joking about the way students turn up groggy and sleepy-eyed, leaning one over the other for early morning Suprabhatam sessions. Those who had even witnessed it live or seen the videos of the first few sports meet in Parthi would have been so enthralled at the sight of Swami thoroughly enjoying himself like a young child watching the teachers play musical chairs. In fact, many of those who have personally been around Swami in those sessions would agree that they have had to actually remind themselves that He is in fact God and not another ordinary human being. That is the extent to which He would completely become one amidst us, just like a true friend. In one case, a mischievous boy's parents were called for an interview by Bhagwan, where Swami lavished praise on this boy and made the parents extremely happy at this fantastic feedback from Swami himself. After the interview, Swami called this boy back in and gave him a good pasting and gave him a stern warning along with it and said this was the last time he was saving him. Otherwise, the next time, if he hadn't mended his ways, all his naughtiness and the truth would be revealed to his parents. Once, Swami pointed to the devotees and called upon a primary school student and asked him who all of them were. The child promptly replied and said, Swami, they are all my brothers and sisters. Then Swami pointed to his classmates and asked who they were. The boy innocently replied, Swami, they are my friends. To this, Swami instantly corrected him and said that in this world there is only one friend, and that is God. When we have Swami himself giving us that assurance that he is our only true friend in this life, why should we miss such a wonderful chance of befriending him? He is the only one who truly knows our best interest and keeps our best interest in his heart and advises us on right and wrong. He is the only one who will never give up on us and never leave our hands even in the worst of times. He is the only one who knows everything about us even before we speak it out, and therefore perfectly understands us inside out. Let us carry him with us wherever we go and remember him in every thought, word and deed. Jai Sai Ram.
The bhakti sadhana that begins with Shravanam or listening to the glories of the Lord attains completion as it gradually reaches the stage of Atma Nivedanam or complete surrender to the divine. Swami says, a person will be called a jnani if he can recognize the Atma pervading the entire universe. Such a jnani or wise person continuously thinks of God. Although he lives in the world, he does not allow the world to live in him, as he cannot think of anything other than God. To explain this, Swami describes the bhakti of Radha. He says, the letters in the name Radha stand for Radha, Adhara, Dhara, Aradhana, meaning Dhara Aradhana or continuous worship is the Adhara or basis for Radha. At all times, at all places and under all circumstances, Radha was in constant contemplation of Krishna. Her devotion was a matter of complete surrender, and thereby she imprinted herself completely on the heart of Krishna. Let us now experience a lesser known story that brings to forth unconditional surrender to the divine, exemplified by Radha, narrated in an interview by none other than our own Sai Krishna.
It has been many years since I have left this enchanting Vrindavan. So much has traversed since then. Even the Mahabharata war has been fought. And now I have come here to meet my beloved Bhakta, Radha. Oh, look! Here she is, by the banks of river Yamuna. Radha? Oh, Radha! Look, I have come back.
Come back, my lord? When did you ever leave me to come back?
Radha, what do you mean? I left Vrindavan many years ago to go to Mathura.
Krishna, do you see this water? I can see your beautiful face in each and every drop. Look at the trees, the branches and the leaves. Even they have your beautiful form smiling at me. And those cows that you so lovingly took to graze. The milk, this little calf, in all of them, Gopala, I can see only you. You are there everywhere, Krishna, everywhere. the Govardhana mountain that you picked up with your little finger, the clouds, the breeze, this garden, these flowers. When did you ever leave me, O Giridhari?
Radha, for the first time, the Creator is fully on the receiving end from His creation. What purity! What selflessness! Even without studying the Vedanta, you have practiced and set an example of Atma Nivedanam, complete surrender to me. Your love and devotion makes me, the Lord of the universe, bow down to you.
When the Lord of the age bows down to Radha, it speaks volumes of the sincerity of her devotion. This reminds me of an incident that occurred in Vrindavan. The students were pleading to Swami to grant them a Trai session. Swami asked them why he should grant them one when what they showed was part-time devotion while he wanted full-time. Swami then asked a senior professor who had worked in a company before as to what were the types of employees in their company and the differences in their terms of payment. The professor then replied that their company had two types of employees, temporary and permanent. While the temporary employees were paid on a daily basis, the permanent ones received the basic HRA, increments and bonuses as well. Swami then said, in the same way, for permanent devotees, I too shower constant grace, give bonuses, and most importantly, dearness allowance. Not just that, I also give them pension for life hereafter. But nobody seems interested to be a permanent devotee. After listening to these nectarine words of Swami and having come to the end of today's presentation, let's pause to reflect and introspect. Let's ask ourselves if we are being mere worshippers, ardent and sincere in our worship, but rooted only in the fulfillment of our desires, or are we being a true bhakta who unconditionally loves God for no specific reason or benefit? As Swami says, no reason for love, no season for love, no birth, no death. Sai Ram.
ओम श्री साई राम। भगवान श्री सत्य साईं बाबा के चरणों में कोटि कोटि नमन। आप सबको ईश्वर रमा दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में और रमादान के इस पावन पर्व पर बहुत बहुत नमन और अभिनंदन। मैं 4 लाइनों से शुरू करूंगा कि स्वामी, तेरी सूरत को रूह में उतार लूं, तेरी सूरत को रूह में उतार लूं, जिंदगी अपनी तेरी चाहत में संवार लूं, जिंदगी अपनी तेरी चाहत में संवार लूं। दर्शन हो तुम्हारा कुछ इस तरह, दर्शन हो तुम्हारा कुछ इस तरह, सारी उम्र तुम्हारी इबादत में गुजार दूं, सारी उम्र तुम्हारी इबादत में गुजार दूं। आज MMR के यूथ ने नव विधि भक्ति के ऊपर एक बहुत सुंदर प्रोग्राम प्रस्तुत किया। मैं उन सबको इस ऑर्गेनाइजिंग के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, नमन और अभिनंदन। आज के इस पेंडेमिक समय में भक्ति ही एक ऐसा मार्ग है जो हमें इस आपदा से उभार सकता है। साईं पर भरोसा रखें, हर समय इबादत करते रहें, इतनी शिद्दत से इबादत करें कि उनका हाथ आशीर्वाद देने के लिए उठे, क्योंकि ये समय स्वामी ने किसी कारण से दिया है। ये कष्ट आज जो कायनात पे आया है ये किसी कारण से दिया है, और मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि बहुत जल्द ही इस रात के बाद सवेरा होने वाला है। आप सब जानते हैं कि 2025 में भगवान की सेंटेनरी सेलिब्रेट होगी। आने वाले 5 साल क्या क्या प्रोग्राम होना है, इसकी पूरी रूपरेखा पूरे देश में तैयार की जा रही है। ऑल इंडिया प्रेसिडेंट ने काफ़ी सारे वेबिनार्स किए पिछले कुछ समय में। उन्होंने इन सब वेबिनार्स के अंदर नेशनल लेवल पर हर विंग में, हर एरिया में क्या क्या एक्टिविटीज़ हो रही हैं, क्या क्या पॉसिबिलिटीज़ हैं, क्या क्या चीज़ें की जा सकती हैं, क्या क्या ऐसे उदाहरण हैं जिनको लेकर के हम अपनी स्टेट के अंदर इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकें, इन सब के बारे में उन्होंने डॉक्यूमेंट्स सर्कुलेट किए हैं। मैंने इन सब डॉक्यूमेंट्स को ईमेल और व्हाट्सएप के द्वारा आप सब तक पहुंचाया है। सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रेसिडेंट और कन्वीनर्स को मैंने सर्कुलेट किया है। मैं अभी एक बार फिर से इन डॉक्यूमेंट्स को लिस्ट कर दूंगा। अगर आप में से कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट आप तक नहीं पहुंचा है तो आप प्लीज़ मुझे इन्फॉर्म करें और मैं आपको फिर से वो डॉक्यूमेंट भेज दूंगा, क्योंकि अभी हमको ऐसा समय है कि हम इन सब को अपने समिति के अंदर हर किसी के साथ डिस्कशन करके प्लान कर सकें कि हम आने वाले 5 साल में क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं अपनी स्टेट में। ये लेखा जोखा हमें अब तैयार करना है, इसकी प्लानिंग हमें तैयार करनी है। AIP ने जो वेबिनार के डॉक्यूमेंट सर्कुलेट किए हैं वो इस प्रकार हैं। स्पिरिचुअल विंग में उन्होंने वेदास का 5 ईयर्स का प्लान जो गोरटी जी ने सबमिट किया था वो उन्होंने सर्कुलेट किया है कि किस तरह से वेदा जगह जगह किस तरह से उसमें बढ़ोतरी की जाएगी। वट वृक्ष प्लांटिंग के बारे में उनका एक सर्कुलर था। हम लोगों ने भी जो वट वृक्ष पुट्टपर्थी में हैं उसके सैपलिंग्स बनाए गए हैं, उसमें से 9 सैपलिंग्स पहले वाले पेंडेमिक में हम लोग लेकर के आए थे वहाँ से, और वो यहाँ पर जगह जगह पर उनकी स्थापना भी की जा चुकी है। अब अगर आप लोगों को चाहिए MMR के और किसी एरिया के अंदर और लोग चाहते हैं अडॉप्टेड विलेजेस में, ग्राम सेवा में, जहाँ जहाँ पर भी आपको लगता है कि वट वृक्ष की हम लोग स्थापना कर सकते हैं, तो आप लोग प्लीज़ वो डेटा अपने अपने डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रेसिडेंट को भेजें और डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रेसिडेंट फिर लिखें मुझे, ताकि हम फिर से उतने वट वृक्ष के सैपलिंग्स मंगाने के लिए पुट्टपर्थी में कोशिश करेंगे। श्री सत्यसाई आंसर्स करके एक सीरीज़ शुरू की गई है जो हर थर्सडे को सवेरे सवेरे व्हाट्सएप के द्वारा हमारे मोबाइल पे आ जाती है, मेरे पास आती है, मैं उसको सबको सर्कुलेट कर देता हूँ। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आप तक पहुँचती है ये, और आप लोग न सिर्फ स्वयं पढ़ते हैं उसको बल्कि अपने हर डिवोटी तक उसको पहुँचाते हैं। ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी सेवा है, बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट सेवा है, इसलिए प्लीज़ इसको भूलें नहीं और इसको आगे बढ़ाएं। श्री सत्यसाई सत्यनारायण व्रत कथा, ये डॉक्यूमेंट भी मैंने आपको रिसेंटली भेजा है, इंग्लिश में भी है, हिंदी में भी है। ये एक साधना है जो आप लोग शुरू कर सकते हैं समिति लेवल पर, इंडिविजुअल घर के लेवल के ऊपर, जिस तरह से भी आप लोगों को ठीक लगे, इसके बारे में भी चर्चा कर लीजिए आप। ऑल इंडिया प्रेसिडेंट ने अष्टोत्र नामावली की रिकॉर्डिंग विद इंग्लिश मीनिंग रिलीज़ की है आराधना दिवस पे, ये भी मैंने आपको सर्कुलेट किया है। उसके बाद उन्होंने बताया स्पिरिचुअल विंग में कि आजकल इस आपदा के लिए ख़ास तौर पर हमें एक साधना करनी है कि रोज़ रात को 9 से 9:15 के बीच में चैंटिंग ऑफ समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु हर डिवोटी को करना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये जो सामूहिक वाइब्रेशंस होंगे ये हमारे इस कष्ट को काटने के लिए सहायक होंगे। इसके अलावा मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आप लोग जो नॉर्मल स्पिरिचुअल साधना है जैसे जप तप भजन्स मेडिटेशन ये तो कर ही रहे होंगे, इसके अंदर आप लोग किस तरह से इसको सामूहिक तरह से और किस तरह से इसको फैमिली बेसिस पे कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में आप लोग ज़रूर चर्चा करें और उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करें। एजुकेशन विंग में बाल विकास हमारी स्टेट में अच्छा चल रहा है। इसके बारे में हमारी जो बाल विकास कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं देवी राजगोपाल, उन्होंने पूरा इसके ऊपर चर्चा कर रही हैं वो अपने बाल विकास गुरुज के साथ, और इसके ऊपर उनका एक 5 साल का प्लान वो बना रही हैं जो शीघ्र हम तक पहुंचेगा। अभी रिसेंटली बाल विकास के अंदर श्री सत्य साई प्रश्न पुष्पांजलि नाम से जो क्विज़ कॉन्टेस्ट रखा था उन्होंने, ये बहुत अच्छा बाल विकास का प्रोग्राम था। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, क्योंकि हमने इसको भी सर्कुलेट किया था, और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आने वाले 5 साल में इस तरह के कई प्रोग्राम्स बाल विकास में होंगे। सेवा क्षेत्र के अंदर बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं जो ऑल इंडिया बेसिस के ऊपर हो रही हैं। इनके बारे में ऑल इंडिया प्रेसिडेंट ने सर्कुलेट किया है। पहला है श्री सत्य साई ग्राम सेवा। भगवान बाबा के संकल्प के अनुसार 6000 विलेजेस अडॉप्ट होने हैं ऑल इंडिया बेसिस के ऊपर। तो इसमें से MMR में हम लोगों ने ऐसा सोचा है कि 108 विलेजेस को करने की हमें चेष्टा करनी है इन 5 साल के अंदर। तो देखिए कि आप इसमें से कितने विलेजेस आप लोग अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं। प्लीज़ उसको स्टडी करें, कौन सा विलेज अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं। और अभी तो मैं नहीं समझता हूँ कि विलेज आप लोग विज़िट कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उसका एक रूपरेखा बनाई जा सकती है। श्री सत्य साई विंटर सन प्रोजेक्ट, ये विंटर में जो हम लोग कंबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, ब्लैंकेट्स जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, ये वो प्रोजेक्ट है। दूसरा है नारायण सेवा, जैसे अमृत कलश प्रोजेक्ट। हम लोग धर्म क्षेत्र में पहले 300 बनाते थे, अब 500 खाने के पैकेट्स रोज़ बनाते हैं, और जो पूरे समिति के द्वारा डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए जाते हैं बम्बई के अंदर। इस तरह के नारायण सेवा, अमृत कलश के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं जिनको कि हम या कोई और दूसरे रूप से नारायण सेवा कर सकते हैं। इसके बारे में भी आप लोग ज़रूर सोचें। श्री सत्य साई वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग, हमारी स्टेट के अंदर अभी तक बहुत अच्छे स्केल पे हमने इसको इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं किया है। चर्चा हो रही है कि आक्सा में जो जगह है वहाँ पर इस तरह का एक वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग सेंटर स्टार्ट किया जाए। तो इसकी भी कोशिश जारी है कि अगर हुआ तो वहाँ पर हम लोग एक सत्य साई वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग सेंटर डालेंगे। श्री सत्य साई ड्रिंकिंग वाटर मिशन, इस प्रोजेक्ट के अंतर्गत वाटर प्योरिफिकेशन प्लांट्स अलग अलग स्टेट्स में लगाए गए हैं। केरला में, ओडिशा में, आंध्र प्रदेश में ये लगाए गए हैं प्लांट्स। इसका पूरा डिज़ाइन तैयार है वाटर प्योरिफिकेशन प्लांट का। अगर हमको किसी को भी लगाने के बारे में सोचना है तो ये डिज़ाइन हमको रेडिली अवेलेबल होगा। MMR में रेन हार्वेस्टिंग का प्रोजेक्ट ऑलरेडी ठीक चल रहा है, इसको भी बढ़ा सकते हैं। इसके बारे में भी आप लोग सोच सकते हैं। दूसरा था श्री सत्य साई ट्राइबल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम। इस प्रोग्राम के अंतर्गत MMR में आश्रम शालास को अडॉप्ट किया गया है, और भी आश्रम शालाएँ अडॉप्ट की जा सकती हैं, या कोई और प्रोग्राम किया जा सकता है ट्राइबल डेवलपमेंट के एरिया में। इसके बारे में भी आप लोग सोचिए और चर्चा कीजिए और बताइए। उसके बाद श्री सत्य साई विद्या ज्योति, ये एक नेशनल फ्लैगशिप प्रोग्राम है जो बहुत सी स्टेट्स में बहुत अच्छी तरह चल रहा है। हमारी स्टेट में अभी तक इसके ऊपर ज़्यादा काम नहीं हुआ था। अभी हमने इसके लिए फुल टाइम फुल फ्लेज्ड कोऑर्डिनेटर्स अपॉइंट किए हैं, जेंट्स भी महिला भी, और उन्होंने काफ़ी इसके ऊपर काम किया है। योगिनी सुवर्णा जो इसकी महिला कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं, उन्होंने इसके बारे में मीटिंग्स की हैं, सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट से उन्होंने मीटिंग्स की हैं, डिस्कस किया है कि किस तरह से हम लोग विद्या ज्योति के अंतर्गत स्कूल्स अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं, और क्या क्या उसकी ट्रेनिंग भी चालू है। तो मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि इस एरिया के अंदर, और ये हमारे आने वाले समय के अंदर MMR का ये एक फ्लैगशिप प्रोजेक्ट होगा। तो आप लोग सहयोग करें और इस प्रोजेक्ट को अडॉप्ट करके जितना हो सके उतना बढ़ाने की कोशिश की जाए, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत स्कोप है। कोविड के करंट सिनेरियो के ऊपर ऑल इंडिया बेसिस के ऊपर काफ़ी चर्चा हुई है। डॉक्टर मोहन ने एक वैक्सीनेशन के ऊपर वीडियो भेजा था जो ऑल इंडिया प्रेसिडेंट ने सर्कुलेट किया है, ऑल इंडिया प्रेसिडेंट ने भी 2 ईमेल्स भेजी हैं, ईमेल 25A और 26, जिसके अंदर कि उन्होंने कोविड के क्या क्या प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं और किस तरह से सत्यसाई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पार्टिसिपेट करता है या कर सकता है, इसके बारे में उन्होंने पूरे डिटेल्स दिए हैं। ये मैंने सबको भेज दिया है। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आप लोगों ने इसको स्टडी किया होगा और डिसाइड किया होगा, क्योंकि ये आज की तारीख में इसकी ज़रूरत है। इसके अंदर हम लोग क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन कर सकते हैं, किस तरह से हम लोग मदद कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में बहुत शीघ्र सोचने की ज़रूरत है। जैसे ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर्स हैं, इसके बारे में भी आपको सर्कुलेट किया है कि ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर्स आप लोग अपने अपने एरिया के अंदर हॉस्पिटल से पता लगाएं कि किस तरह से वहाँ पर क्या क्या कमियाँ हैं, किस तरह से हम लोग मदद कर सकते हैं। इसके बारे में ज़रूर चर्चा करें, ज़रूर बताएं मेरे को। ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर्स अभी तक हमें किसी ने कमिट नहीं किए हैं, इसलिए अभी खाली हम लोग एक असेसमेंट कर रहे हैं और उसके असेसमेंट करने के बाद डिसाइड करेंगे कि हम स्टेट लेवल के ऊपर क्या कुछ ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर्स को प्रोक्योर करें, क्या हम लोग कुछ कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में सोचने की ज़रूरत है। तो अंत में मैं यही कहूँगा कि आज बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आप सबसे बात करने के लिए मुझे मौका दिया। बहुत समय बाद हमारी बात हो रही है। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आने वाले समय के अंदर हम लोग भगवान बाबा पे आस्था रखकर, भगवान बाबा के पाँव को पकड़कर इस आपदा से उभर पाएंगे। मैं आप सब लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। आज का प्रोग्राम जिन लोगों ने ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया है उनको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। जिन लोगों ने इसका कंटेंट तैयार किया उनको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि हमारे स्पिरिचुअल कोऑर्डिनेटर सिद्धार्थ कस्तूरी रंगन जी ने इसके अंदर बहुत बड़ा भाग लिया होगा। आप लोग नवविधि भक्ति के ऊपर अगर कोई भी किसी किस्म की चर्चा करना है तो उनसे करें। मैं आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं, क्योंकि ये एक मुझे कहा गया था कि वोट ऑफ थैंक्स भी मुझे करना है, तो ये एक वोट ऑफ थैंक्स मैं आप लोगों के लिए दे रहा हूं। प्लीज़ बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अंत में मैं 4 लाइनों से अंत करूंगा कि उठ रही है महक तेरी, स्वामी के लिए अर्पित है कि उठ रही है महक तेरी ए साईं मेरे तार तार में, उठ रही है महक तेरी ए साईं मेरे तार तार में। वो आनंद और कहीं नहीं, वो आनंद और कहीं नहीं जो है तेरी इबादत में, जो है तेरी इबादत में। जय साई राम।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी सत्य साई हरे। भक्त जना संरक्षक, भक्त जना संरक्षक, पति महेश्वरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। शशिवदना श्रीकरा, सर्वा प्राणपते, स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते। आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आपदान्धवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। माता-पिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु नीवे, स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे। नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ, नागेन्द्र शयना। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी हो साई महादेवा, सत्य साई महादेवा। मंगल आरती अंधुको, मंगल आरती अंधुको, मंगल गिरिधारी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। नारायण नारायण ओम, सत्य नारायण 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 ओम। नारायण नारायण ओम, सत्य नारायण नारायण समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई